paid $30 or $40 or $50 million a year to play a kids game, and then they had the nerve to not even participate.
We are taking your calls at 301-230-0980 on NBA All-Star Weekend. Most critics say it was not very good at best. Some say it was absolutely terrible. I was frustrated by the lack of actual basketball being played relative to all of the other things happening. But let's see what you think. Let's go to Gary in Upper Marlboro. Gary, what's up, man? Hope you're doing well. What's your take on All-Star Weekend and how it all went down?
I thought it was a lot more fun than previous to like the last few years of the All-Star game. Particularly, I thought was fun was that little shoot-off that between Dame Dillard and the little guy with the glasses.
Yeah.
For $100,000. I thought that was a lot of fun. I thought that the guys were actually playing defense for a change, and I really strongly disagree with Draymond because right now, to be honest, these guys are grossly overpaid and they're pampered, and they're starting to be like arrogant, conceited prima donnas. And the best guys don't participate in all of the activities. I mean, can you imagine LeBron never participated in the slam dunk contest?
Right.
Some of your best players in the NBA, and these guys get paid $40 and $50 million a year. So from a perspective of Joe the fan, it's like, you got to be kidding me that these guys are criticizing the game. They're grossly over. They're getting paid $30 and $40 and $50 million a year to play a kids game, and then they had the nerve to not even participate. I mean, they should be so appreciative and so thankful that they get the opportunity to play a game and get paid that kind of money. That they should be willing to. They should be all in, no matter what. You see what I'm saying?
So, yeah, I do. So let me respond to that real quick, and then I'm curious what you think of what I think. Because I will disagree with you when you say they are overpaid, because their skill set is so incredibly rare that people dish out the money to make it so that the economics say they are worth it. Because the money they get is based off basketball-related income. So how much fans and sponsors put into the league is then divided in half. That number is divided amongst 30 teams. That is the NBA salary cap. Then the owners can pay even more than that based off luxury tax. And that gets in all the fun CBA stuff that's actually terrible and not that fun at all. But the alternative is the owners just keep more of that money. So the players, the actual people who drive the league, the ones that are worth it, are getting paid what they're worth. With that said, I understand how you feel and agree that if they are going to be paid that much, then part of that worth is to participate in the stuff for the fans. That if you are going to get paid this much money, part of your job to get paid that much money is doing all of the stuff around All-Star Weekend. And I understand that you're tired. I understand that it's hard, that it's a lot on the body, that all of these things are true, and that you are ultimately trying to make sure that you save your best health for winning a championship for your team. But if you're going to be a part of this economic system that results in you making 30, 40, even 20, 15, or $10 million. $10 million, most of us would just do so much to be able to make $10 million, nevertheless play basketball. And that's a lower paid player in the NBA right now. And so I think your larger point is correct in terms of the sentiment, even if I disagree based off the current economics of professional sports that the players themselves are actually overpaid.
Well, where I would disagree with you, though, the contradiction is that you're saying at the same time that the popularity of the game is going down, but you're saying that these guys are worth all that. You're saying that they're going to be lucky to get a decent television contract this year, but at the same time, it's not popular because the quality of the game is not
this gets
good.
into a much larger discussion, which is probably I see what you're saying. The counter would simply be that because of the way that the current entertainment model is, this is like an enormous big picture discussion. This could be a fun thing to talk about with like someone like John Allrand or Richard Deitch or one of these people that covers sports media or covers media trends on a larger scale. But pro sports value, even if the ratings are dropping, you still get more people watching live sports than you do anything else because everything else is on demand. Even a show that premieres at 8 o'clock on Thursdays on NBC, half those people are like a ginormous part of the audience is watching that thing on demand, whether they physically, DVR it or whether they watch it on Peacock or whatever. Live sports is the one thing that's left that actually is live that people feel like they need to watch live, otherwise they miss it. And because of that, the TV contracts are just going to continue to grow, even if relatively speaking the ratings are down, and the NBA does need to fix that and figure out why the game is losing popularity. It's still the most valuable thing in the marketplace.
The last thing I'll say, Craig, first of all, I think that Draymond is one of the biggest jerks in the league, and I felt like he was the wrong person to have the audacity to say what he said. And if I was the producer or the director of that last night's show, I would have took him off the air right away and found somebody to replace him. To me, he should never get another opportunity to, I guess, be a color commentator or whatever on any kind of NBA broadcast because he slammed the game that's making him rich.
Greg, I disagree with. I've enjoyed this conversation, even if we've disagreed on basically everything. I think when you care about something, you have the power. Like, it's important that you criticize it. But
he was over the top.
I don't think that he was over the top. I mean, Dre, he's got strong opinions. Greg, we got to run, but I appreciate the call. For sure. I think, God, how deep do I want to go with this? How much trouble do I want to get in today, Anthony?
None?
Here's what I'll say. Just because you criticize something doesn't mean that you hate the thing. That if you genuinely love something and you want it to be the best version of itself, this can just go to your friendships. This can go to your relationships. You have to be tactful, for sure. Maybe Draymond wasn't tactful. Maybe Draymond could have taken a little more ownership of certain parts of it, considering he is both a pundit and a participant. But criticizing something does not mean that you're a hater or you hate it and that you want to see it fail. Often you criticize something that you want to see succeed because you're trying to give constructive feedback. And we can argue about whether Draymond was constructive or not, but I think Draymond, I wish he hadn't kicked so many people in the nuts over the years. I wish Draymond had not been as sloppy with some of his play that caused him to do crazy non-basketball stuff. But I think sometimes he misses on his opinions. So do I. It's a part of being in this business, and I actually think Draymond is very, very good on television, and I look forward to his very long media career wherever it winds up, whether it's at NBC, Amazon, or if he stays a part of the Turner family when they continue inside the NBA when they don't even have the games anymore. Which, by the way, was one of my favorite parts of All-Star Weekend is when Kevin Hart and some of the All-Stars gave the inside guys fishing gear because they are gone fishing after the season. That was a good bit. Second funniest Kevin Hart bit of the weekend when he took all the pictures with the WNBA players and then cut all their heads off because they were all so much taller than him. That was a good one.
What's up, kiddos? It's your boy Clinton Yates from ESPN. It's the Hoffman Show on the Team 980. Tell your mama I said what's up.